Alright, greetings. Thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Welcome, welcome to, a bizarre reality, to say at least. This will probably be a short broadcast. Oh, it's hard to say about 30 minutes. We'll see how what comes through. Today's topics is of the Men in Black grid. It's similar to Archon. Now, I got a message from a friend about the Men in Black are the Martians, and I wouldn't doubt it. There's different species of them. But I tell you one thing: the MIB energies are very connected to the media, government, making sure third dimension is running properly. So it's much larger than what is us. And of course, then your mainstream human is not going to pick up on that, of course, because it's so many different layers of manipulation. Of course, how are you going to what are you going to do with all that? It's different layers of reality, and many aren't ready for the galactic reality, say the least. They know who they are. They're already heckling. Even those that are awakened are having difficulties with it. I know I get heat from that too. So from those that are aware but have a slurred view of at least what I'm doing here, but that's fine. That's okay. You got your soul, you got your growth to do. If you don't like what I'm doing, that's fine. But some of those, I think they know everything, can go into a real dark path and not even realize it. They think they know it all, and they go into this darkness, and they do not realize it's like a tunnel of perception. And you should keep an open mind and just not say I know everything. I'd rather not know everything, but some do. They think they do. That's the drawbacks of the spiritual awakening, that many do believe they have all the answers, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy being in third dimension. It's not easy to be awakened to the fourth dimension. This never ends, does it? Also with Hollywood Gate, basically I talked about this yesterday. I'm not going into full details. Well, basically Hollywood celebrities that are I don't have any full proof or anything, but I tell you around Steven Spielberg, let me tell you, it is not a friendly energy there. There's a lot of deception vibrations there. Let's put it that way. Let's put it this way: if that floodgate would open, if that floodgate would ever open, or something similar to that, Hollywood would heal, and other, go to other places like the pedophilia situation in Hollywood, in the government, in corporate world. I guess I should have brought a list. Jeez. But once those manipulate one of them, let's go. I believe others will follow, like with the Harvey Weinstein situation. You can almost say that's a glimpse into the future of where some of us are like, why not happen now? I don't know why it's not happening now. But it'd be nice if it would. They don't give us full. Who knows? But more of this, and then you'll feel less negativity here. Of course, we'll go through the healing of all that. Will take some time. Say like a big scandal, for example, like a Spielberg or something like that, that's doing not good stuff. Not to say it's every day, but there's stuff there that's not good. But say if that goes and becomes exposed, goes into the mainstream, over time you will feel a lift of the negativity here. It's just the truth that needs to come out, but should find out. This is why, there's so much darkness here. This is why you're tired all the time, or those that are tired can't think clearly. it's because of, not just because of the child trafficking situation, but just the layers and layers of manipulation. While you can't function correctly, can't connect to your guides, can't hear your guides, you know, it all just has all this, it's all intertwined. So having a, you know, some of this stuff come out into the truth world would definitely feel, those of us who are seeing like we're nuts, others will start to see it more clearly. Not realizing there's a layer of, there's layers and layers of manipulation going on here. And you start bringing out the truth of all this. Of course, it's not easy. I'm not sure where the truth is going to find itself here eventually, but, and that's when you start to see the new earth and the higher dimensional energies over time. As for when is nice if it happens soon, and you never know. Hollywood's an easy target because it's in our face all the time, and also they have the films, and you kind of see some of their stuff there that's like, wow, that was really violent. Wow, you're really friendly with kids. I mean, it's just, you know, it has things in there. It's like, why is this elements here? So they show it as innocent, but is there another layer there that's not so innocent? So I don't know, Spielberg, I don't feel comfortable about that vibration. There's something there that's hidden, and it's not pretty. At least from my perception, it might be wrong. There's another. I mentioned it yesterday. One is going out, you know, talking about it, but yeah, it's nasty. It's, believe whatever you want. There's no real way of really proving it, but it's of course. I mean, I know the aliens are here. I know I'm channeling, but others not believing it is up to them. Whatever, believe whatever you want. Enjoy the third dimension. Yeah, it's a fun place. Even some manipulations in the fourth dimension. When you deal with spiritual cults, it just never ends, does it? It just never ends. But the Archon grid, let's see, is very connected to the Men in Black grid. That's keeping the Men in Black grid, MIB grid, whatever you want to call it. You can call that the Archon grid, whatever you want to call it. But either way, that's the one that's closest to us, that's causing us manipulations. And there's Archon grid, but I believe there's others. But the Men in Black grid mostly goes into through our consciousness to plug in the manipulations. It's like you open up the back of your head and they flood it with junk, basically. Jeez. And it's up to us to start clearing it. It's not easy to break out of the reality that you're in, and jeez. I don't know when this, I don't know. And the alien energies, I mean, let's put it this way. If you have a, like with the pedophilia stuff, if that starts leaking out more and more, I mean, really big time, people go to jail, and somebody major goes down, like Harvey, but somebody even bigger than that, something that everybody trusts and love. I mean, that is a good example, because there's that, I forgot who it was, in the British, a British entertainer, I forgot his name, but David Ice talked about him. He knew the Queen, he knew everybody, and he was like molesting kids like crazy. So, and you talk about somebody like Steven Spielberg, it's like, you wonder. So there's something there that's not right, let's put it that way. Can't prove it, can't do anything, so whatever. So there's just things there that, yeah, well, you can fake it till you make it, basically. And if you have that type of power, no one's going to believe it. Oh, I'm friendly, yada yada yada. So just never ends. So yeah, it's like, I hope I'm wrong, and I might be, and that's fine too. But there's just something there, it's just not right. So who knows? But yeah, if we get a big awakening like that, because the media is covering up a lot of this stuff already. Just I don't know what to do. I don't know. Am I getting any information of like what's coming up next, what's on the horizon or anything like that? They're not telling me anything. Just wait to see what comes. Shit. There's a possibility the scandal is about to drop, possibly. in the coming months, or maybe this month. They're not being very good. It would help, basically, for the truth to come out. But major scandal as it goes into, as for truth, of course, the mainstream media might be another story. But sometimes they get forced to tell the truth. Yeah, like with the Harvey Weinstein thing, they got kind of forced into that because they've been covering that up forever. Hillary Clinton's been covering it up. You know, just Spielberg's been covering it up. All of them been covering it. It's just, you know, so only take, yeah, it's you know, yeah, it's dirty. But yeah, like when you start clearing out this negativity, you'll feel a relief. You feel like you can think more clearly. You don't need food anymore, or whatever it is. You just feel different. But until then, I don't know what to do. Do the best you can. But it does seem like there's a scandal of some kind is on its way to be going to the mainstream. At least what I'm feeling. Not normally, I don't connect to stuff like that. I'm, you know, professor of UFO discovery or disclosure that will happen for the next 5 years. So my credibility is doing just great. On a spiritual level, yeah, the channel Looney Tunes is on air. But yeah, it's, yeah, I guess you could say a majority of either humanity is not really ready to tap into their own energy field of what's to come, or trust themselves for that matter. That's why we're in the kind of, it's not easy, of course, not easy to know the truth. Of course, you know your own truth, but Hollywood, you can say, as an example, if that loosens up its manipulation, that does, the others will hopefully fall afterwards. So it's the biggest, it's one of the biggest, and it's out, it's in the public arena, where the government is in the public, but a lot of it's in the shadows. So you know, there's scandals around the government, obviously, with all this. So it'd be nice to see that go into public light. I don't know. I wish my crystal ball was working. I guess it is, but it's just not saying, it's not saying it's going to happen now. So we'll just have to wait and see. For those that are new to all this, if you're still here, it's avatar.com. We have private sessions throughout the week. If you want to know about your aliens and everybody that's around, we also have one channel if you're interested in that. We also have Google Hangouts, Zoom, and channeling by phone if you're up to it. And about 8 days, almost 10 days, should be able to catch up tomorrow on questions that are submitted. I'm investigating also Spirit Social, same situation here. We have other channelers and healers on this page also, and also extra support the channel. We have the Jake comic and channel updates are here also. Little messages, nothing too big, but it is nice. Thank you for your support. We also have the social network here. We have a lot of stuff here, as you can see. Jake comic, Rabbit is on its way, and we have Interstellar Radio. Probably, I don't know, we'll see. Friday broadcast, maybe. Friday night, definitely one. USCUP coming Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, that is what I have. Thank you for your support. Raw, yeah, this is, the real world is, will come into our reality. But it feels like it. Some of us like it now. But a lot of darkness here has to lift for alien disclosure. More and welcome for it all to start falling apart. Like with Hollywood's one example of it, of course, but like Charlie Chaplin, all these people that everyone's looked up to is like. So you know, it's part of the Illuminati energies, of course, but realize also we are living in a movie currently. And it doesn't mean movies are all bad. There is messages there. It seems to be becoming more galactic, if you know what to look for. Movies are like crop circles, you can say. It's done from the human consciousness, but it is our spirit world speaking to us. It just, we have to see it that way, and it's becoming more alien through comics, the comic book movies. It's still going more alien, and it'll be interesting when it goes into the alien with Pleiadians, Syrians, Arcturian, the movie. I mean, that would be great. So that would be nice. That would help. They have enough ghost movies because of The Sixth Sense, but you know, the alien stuff, of course, I imagine it will, you know, have a market. So we are currently we're rewriting history, of course, going to more of the galactic energies. As to the MIB grid that is here, yeah, it goes into mostly politicians mind controlling them because they mind control us. Of course, it goes in advertising and different things, but it seems like politicians really worry because they made the rules. They started the fires in California, possible. It's a high possibility. There's a lot of rituals going on in California at this time, as you can see. You can see by the fire. Jeez, it's not funny. Yeah, there's a lot of rituals going on in California. It's horrible. It's just absolutely terrible. It's just... oh, it just never ends. I mean, there's positives, but a lot of people are losing their homes too, so it's like they really don't want people to live there, do they? Jeez, it just... well, like the Caribbean, that took a big beating, and of course now that's all been forgotten by the mainstream. You know, the mainstream media would do us a favor by disappearing altogether. But one thing about the mainstream media, they're going to be forced to tell the truth every once in a while. They do here and there, but it feels like there's a scandal on its way. I don't know what the hell it is. It might be the pedophilia stuff, possibly. Now, with Trump going after the child trafficking, that's not easy, of course, or human trafficking. He's got to be careful with that stuff. Yeah, or he can find himself gone. I think he's doing what he can, but it's gross. The whole thing is just... yeah, is he going to save the world? Far from it. But he's doing what he can, of course, but there's areas where you got to be really careful. But I believe he's protected for the most part, but you know, he doesn't, you know, in that position you don't have a lot of power. It might seem like they do. It's more like a punching bag position than it is a power position, but that does not mean things won't, you know, the deep state will do what it wants to do, obviously, and rule his presidency. And other presidencies for that matter, but it's all Hollywood once again, and it's not always easy to see the strings, but through the deep state going through the presidency, it's basically, well, they're keeping him out of their way, but there is positive being done there. It's not all negative. It's just some aren't really ready to see it, whatever it is, but there is I don't know, it's not a field people want to hear, so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate how there's all this negativity towards, you know, anyone in power. The idea is to bring positive so we can get some positive out of it. Instead, it's just, there's positive there, but there's a lot of negative too. Like, I don't like this person, I don't trust them, but don't you want this person to succeed for the rest of us to succeed? Whoever it is that's in there. So just some aren't really ready anyway. It's just, anyway, that's the manipulation that's going on here. Basically started to divide. It's unfortunate. Many aren't ready to let go of the third dimensional movie, basically. And you can say our modern lives are movies. It's just not easy to be part of the modern movie. It's, some of us are kind of ready to turn it off, and then it turns back on, or whatever it is. I'd rather go to a whole another world, dimension, whatever it is. But it does seem like there's help on the way, but who knows when. But once again, I feel a scandal on its way of healing darkness, taking darkness, bringing it into light. So a few months, or maybe sooner than that, I guess we'll see. But alien disclosure, that was with energies mostly. But we are going into that clearing, but it takes time. There's so much here, so much thickness of negativity. But those that need to be activated more so for alien disclosure have been, I probably, or will be for that matter. I believe last month was an activation month for many to be aware of what's to come, and more of, you know, visitations will occur in due time. It's not going to be all as much as just rather just bring in the ships and let's get this going. I think we're going into that field. It's just not going to happen as soon as we like it to, like right now. Yeah, they're not saying anything weather-wise. Of course, they didn't say anything about the California. What? Jeez, it's like what, 14 fires over there right now. Jeez, I don't know what to say about that. Just yeah, is a well, certain when I felt the reptilian war or whatever it was going on for manipulation. It's only in a certain area. It's not there's like 14 fires there. Not giving me full details of what's going on. Some of it's arson, not all of it. Is it done through politics? Some of it might be, but not being very clear of it. The idea is just to heal, and answers will come either way. If it was those people that were a part of it are going to get some not so friendly karma in this life or the next life, if that's even true. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, you know, it's just, you know, because, you know, Florida, you know, we're going into hurricane, you know, the battering ram. And now, like, for California, is there manipulations going on? Of course, yes, through the deep state, yeah. Yeah. All through it, yeah. That, I'm looking at differently, yeah. It's like, it's kind of like what, now, California's already gotten beaten last year, now they're getting double beaten this year. Now, not going, it is a manipulation, not all of it, but majority of it is being through the deep state of some shape or form. Now, there's positives and there's negatives to it. Where people are losing their homes, obviously that's a negative to it. So, it just, there's a war going on over there. You can say it's a war of power. I don't think we're not out of the woods yet, of course. It'd be nice if we were, but you can say it's kind of the sign of what's going on with different branches of Kabbalism in California, because California feels like it's an Illuminati state altogether. Not to say all of it's taken over, but quite a few of it is. That's where a lot of members live that do make the choices here. Air Force Base. Yeah, Edwards Air Force Base. I mean, there's a lot of control over this country as in California, so yeah, it feels like there's kind of like a war going on, but with fire. Jeez, it's horrible. It's just so. As for the Men in Black grid, once again, yeah, it goes into mostly, like I said, with politicians, media. I saw, now I connected to this after I went off air yesterday. I would almost see, if I can remember right, like media, people talking the news, kind of like shape shift, but not where people can see it, because they're getting like a download for what their manipulation, whatever it, I don't know. It's just they're puppets basically, most of them, depending on who, yeah, depending on what position. It's just, it's, you know, because they run the narrative of how most people want to think. They put thoughts into people's minds. Reptilians are involved, other beings, but it's like the Men in Black grid is like a, think of it as like a computer operation around the world, and different beings can go in there and plug into it to do stuff to us. Look at it that way. You can be however you want to look at it. So it's not all bad, but it's not all good either, obviously. So that's another way of looking at it. And I've never really, I mean, I've picked up on manipulations from them, but never seen anything like that before. So so yeah, it plays a big role, and it causes health problems too. It's just one thing you know, it's like one thing after the other. They can see your timeline a little bit clearer. Like if you have this, like if you get in a car accident, and then this will happen, and that'll happen. And you see different scenarios. It's like playing God in some ways. So, all right. Yeah, it's been kind of a downer connection here. But for the positives, I don't know. It's like I said, scandal is on its way to becoming more some kind of scandal is on its way. It's 2 months, maybe sooner than that. It's going to be pretty big. Can't miss it. Whatever it's going to be tonight. I don't know if it's Hollywood. I'm not sure what it is. Either way, it's going to hit the airwaves pretty heavily. I guess we'll find out if I ever remember when it happens. But it does go into alien disclosure down the line. It doesn't mean it's going to have alien-related information, but healing the dark is our mission here, to bring it into the light. So it's like the build-up for disclosure is getting rid of all the junk here. So, and with that is let's see here. They're not giving me much information tonight. Let's see. I would just connect to an angel and bring, or somebody of the spirit realms, or an alien being that has a message for us. We'll do more of an angel vibration to clear out the darkness here. So, alright, much love, blessings, and here we go. Greetings to you, this is Metatron. Energies to you. Your Earth's transformation has a lot to do with your consciousness. How do you see yourselves? How do you perceive yourself? Will assist you in upgrading your vibration. If you see yourself in a positive light, it will enhance your abilities. Maybe not to a high extent, but seeing yourself empowered, seeing who you truly are, will open yourself up, even help you with your dreams. Instead of just being this human on this planet, you see yourself, I'm a higher dimensional being on this planet, and I can clear all manipulations. Remember this. Use this every day. Always. Remember who you are. Remember you can make things happen. Yes, some have difficulties making a lot happen, but you can. The little things is what matters most. The big things is a third dimensional way of looking at things. But the small parts of life is what matters most, how you're interacting with each other. And we're improving that. We're improving relationships. Seeing yourself as a higher vibrational being. That doesn't mean that you're better than anybody, but you're connecting to your higher source energy. Listen to that. Let it flow through you. It should bring a healing to the way you see yourselves. Even seeing the future is another way of heightening your vibration. And yes, many conspiracies or scandals on your world that some of you are not sure of, or most likely you are already connected to the truth. It just you're not believing because of this third dimension perspective. This third dimension perspective is there to remove you from the truth. So believe in yourselves and your first connections. What matters most is that you are becoming more confident of your higher dimensional self. And as that comes through more clearly, you will move mountains easier. It will, small things first, the big things later on. You can realize the smaller the situation, just talking to somebody, is you can improve those relations with each other, because healing human interactions not easy. And you want more answers, they are there to be received. Blessings to you all. You are all loved. Message from the spirit world. Blessings. Excellent. Alright, much love everyone. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.